Hi, how are you doing today? We are gonna be talking about some of the shows that I've been watching recently. So basically just discussing what I've watched this past quarter. So that's for January, February, and March. I actually watched quite a lot in January and February when it came to like TV shows, but in March I kind of fell off. I was really sick in the second half of the month and I just didn't have the attention span for anything. So yeah, but there is a lot to talk about, a lot I'm excited about. So let's just get into things. Starting off with What If season 2 is the first show that I watched this year. I wanted to watch it, but it came out. But again, I was sick then and I just didn't get around to it. But I finally got around to it at the start of the year. And honestly, I really liked this season. I liked it more than the first one. I don't know if that's because my expectation changed, but like also at the same time, I think the episodes just were more fun and better executed. I didn't really leave episodes as open-ended and threads left unfinished as much as the first season did, in my opinion. And I thought there were some really fun episodes this season and really creative ones as well. And I just think they did some very interesting things, and I also really liked how they tied everything together in the end. Next, I have My Demon, which I only watched 2 episodes of so far this year. So when I last talked to you, I was on episode 7, now on episode 9. It just, I don't know, K-dramas have not been my priorities yet this year, but I really want to watch more of the show now that I'm talking about it. I'm kind of like reminding myself about that I definitely need to get back to this one because I'm really liking it. It is a more paranormal show. It's a romance. And I'm really liking the romance in this one, and like that paranormal aspect is like adding a like fun bit of intrigue and a fun way to like heighten the stakes as well. Then next I finished Percy Jackson the Olympians season 1. I watched every episode as it came out, so it rolled over a little bit into January, so I only got around to finishing it now, and I love it. I know there's some sour presses who aren't liking it, but I love it and I'm extremely hyped for season 2. And I think they've done a really great job at adapting the books, modernizing the story, and I don't know, everything about it just fills my heart with joy. Then next I watched Grease, so I saw the Pink Ladies, which only has 1 season, and this one was really hyped on my For You page. I know it's kind of, I feel like it's a show that kind of went under the radar last year, but I have seen a lot of people talk about it, so it made me very curious about it, and it was added to a Belgian streaming service this year, so I decided to check it out, and I binged it in like 1 day because I was just so obsessed with it, which I wasn't expecting because I like Grease but I don't love it and I have many like problems with it. So I didn't think like a Grease prequel show, because that's what this is basically, would entice me this much, but I really loved it. I do think towards like the second half of the season it dropped off a little bit for me, and it does some things that I thought were really frustrating and I wasn't the biggest fan of, but overall I really enjoyed the show. The music in it is absolutely fantastic. Like honestly, some of like the musical scenes in this are just so good and so creative. And then next we have QI. I've been watching the new season as episodes drop, although I'm behind, so I'm only on episode 9. I don't know necessarily what episode we're up to, but I'm a couple of weeks behind because I've been busy and I haven't gotten around to watching the show every week, but I am liking the season a lot. Then next, I finally am the last person ever, but I watched Knokke-Off, which is 1 season so far, currently filming the second one. But I wasn't the biggest fan of this show. I do have to say that as it went on, I liked it more. In the beginning, I really wasn't sold on it, but as it continued and I feel like the story really kicked in, I started liking it more, but I don't know, it's not my thing. Then next we have a season, which again, I'm very behind on. I only watched the first 2 episodes of the second season, but I really loved the first season. I thought it was so fun, so cool, so creative. So I was so hyped for the second season, and I watched the first 2 episodes and I was just so confused. There's so many characters and they all look like each other, and I'm constantly confusing who's who, and maybe if I continue on with it I will get it, but like right now everything's just like a mess in my head. Then next we have the Artful Dodger, which is 1 season, and you're gonna say this is not your thing. True, but this is another one that I've seen so many people have up in my feed, and I just got curious and I clicked on it, and I actually love this. I did have to look away during a lot of the surgical scenes because it's too much for me. I'm very queasy. I can't handle that stuff. But I just think it's such a fun show. Also, I'm not familiar with Oliver Twist at all, so I do also have to say that I have no point of reference for that within the show. But I thought it was really fun. Has an amazing romance, has such an engaging plot, such good characters. Like Lady Belle is a new fictional crush of mine. Like, I love her so much, and this just was such a fantastic show. And then next, I actually restarted Daredevil, and I'm on episode 4 right now. I tried watching this a couple of years ago, and I fell off with it for I don't know what reason, and I don't really remember that much of it, so I decided to like go back. I'm currently 4 episodes deep. Again, I started watching this towards the beginning of March, so by the time I like got to this point, I got sick and then I couldn't watch anymore. But yeah, I'm trying to get back into things and like watch all of the previously on Netflix shows from the MCU. But I'm not the biggest fan of it. It's not, and I think that's just mainly because it's not my thing. Again, it's not typically what I go for in shows, but I am liking it a bit more now than last time. Like, I'm definitely feeling myself get into it a bit more. And then we have our update on Criminal Minds. Last video, I told you how utterly obsessed I got with Criminal Minds, and I put a bit of a break on it. And right now, when I last talked to you, I was in the middle of season 5. I'm right now at the start of season 8. So, you know, I've hit the gas pedal again. But the reason, you know, me getting sick is what put things on break again, because otherwise I would have been much further along. I'm still utterly obsessed with the show. Then next we have Groeien Bloeien, which is currently only aired 3 episodes while I'm talking to you. I don't hate it as much as everyone online seems to. I feel like this show has gotten like a very like, not a hate campaign, but like everyone just finally quickly kind of like tuned off of the show. I just like was not interested. I thought it wasn't good, and I'm not that about it, and I will keep watching it as it's airing this season, and I will give it its fair shot. I do think a sitcom can be really hard to find its footing for a season, so I hopefully that it just will gel more as this season continues. But I don't know if I'm looking forward to a second season being made. It feels very fake in a way. Like, I know every show is fake, every fictional show is fake, everything about it just feels just too much a little bit. Lastly, we have Milo, which is VTM's new telenovela, and it stars Camille, which is the only reason I'm watching it. And I'm honestly having so much fun with this, and I wasn't expecting it because the last telenovela, Lisa, I also watched, and I just kind of like hooked off halfway through because it just was getting very repetitive and I really wasn't liking it anymore. But this one so far, like, it's daily, so we've seen a lot of episodes. Episode 49, but so far I think it's very fun. It is very juvenile in parts, and I totally get that and complaint from people, but overall I think it's a lot of fun. So yeah, that is everything that I watched this past quarter. In case you haven't noticed, I started including Flemish fiction shows, which I didn't before, but I am doing now because that is also a chunk of what I watch. I'm not including like the panel shows and like quizzes and like everything that I watch, which is honestly a bulk of my TV watching, because it just would be too much, and I honestly don't have a lot to say about those shows, so I feel like it would be a bit weird to include them. But when it comes to like Flemish fiction, I'm deciding to put those in his videos, and yeah, hopefully you like it. And yeah, hopefully you also like this video. Let me know in the comments what you thought of these shows. If you watched some of the shows you have been enjoying recently, I'm always looking for new show recommendations, so definitely feel free to talk about those in the comments as well. And then hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye. Here I am again, the same old situation. Why does the God thing have to be so complicated? I should have played it cool instead of